everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Popkait's Corner. Today, we are very lucky to be having Kyle join us again. I know it's been a few episodes. The audience, they've just missed him so much. And by audience, I mean no one.
Well, Caitlin, Poppy.
Poppy's her preferred moniker.
Yes, Poppy. Yes, I remember. So, I tune into the show on a regular basis, and, I wanted to see myself on the show more, so I'm just giving what the audience wants.
Yeah, because you probably are our main audience. No, I've missed having you on the show. I was like, man, what would Kyle think of WandaVision? And then you haven't watched it, so it's kind of obliterated.
It would have been, I would have probably had some thoughts.
Yeah.
None of them would have been on track.
Close, though.
Oh, but
all I know about WandaVision is the guys that I work with in a group text being confused by it.
See, I feel like
It's
there's
not that confusing.
It's not that, but we've also had friends that we have our improv people, and they were talking about how they've been really confused by it.
Yeah.
And
I think it's just because they're all in their 30s and 40s, and they can't understand.
Yeah,
I think that's a good point.
The TV?
Nick, you have 1 month until you're not going to be able to understand
I
what's
know.
going on.
I'm going to be like, what? I'm so sorry. Like, you're going to have to redo that episode. I turned 30 in the middle of it, and I just lost everything.
Well,
who's the which one?
Lucky for you, the show ends before you turn 30. Just before.
Thank God.
You get
But I'll look
3
back on it
days.
and
Yeah.
be like, that make any sense to me. So, we're not talking about WandaVision today.
But it's so catchy.
What are we talking about, Caitlin?
We're talking about Pokemon. We have the 25th anniversary coming up this year, and while we might in a future episode kind of cover what is going to be going on this year with it, instead we're going to be talking
that's a dense
about
Pokemon.
It's so dense. That's probably the densest Pokemon.
Yeah, it's up there.
But we are going to instead be talking about our dream Pokemon games. This was Anonybob's idea, so I'll let him kind of take it away and describe what we're going to be doing and how that's going to play out.
Welcome to Anonybob's game design corner of Popkait's Corner.
I love it. What do we call Kyle's stuff?
What do we call?
Yeah.
It's Stringman's burrow of
corners.
No.
Okay,
What?
let's hear it.
Stringman's web of ideas.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I like it.
in Popkait's Corner.
And Popkait's Corner.
All right,
We're in the poppy field.
We're in the poppy field. Field of poppies. Okay, so
Continue on.
anyway, Poppy, here's what we're doing today. We're going to be discussing our favorite Pokemon game, and so we're gonna actually set a timer, and each one of us is gonna pitch the best Pokemon game that's ever existed. We can come up with a new region. We can use existing regions. We can do whatever. The criteria for this Pokemon game is completely up to us. After they're done with their 7 minutes, the other two will take time to sort of decide what was good about the pitch, what was bad, and then, just kind of take some time to sort of absorb the fact that the idea was torn to shreds. So
Yeah.
we rolled dice, and the order will be me, Poppy, and finally Kyle will conclude with his game. So
Lovely.
with that said, let's go ahead and just go around the room real quick and say what was sort of our favorite Pokemon game.
Well, we could do first and favorite, but I think all of us probably had the same first game in the sense of the region.
Well, yeah. We all played Pokemon Red and Blue first.
I played yellow.
Well, fine, whatever.
But yes, go ahead, everybody. Well, since Kyle's going last for
Yes.
the idea, we will let Kyle go first with his favorite game.
What is your
My
favorite
favorite
Pokemon game in the
My
mainline
favorite
Pokemon
game.
series?
Well, if we go with one that I consistently go back to and play, it'd be Fire Red.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I really like Kanto region. I like, obviously, Charmander's my favorite Pokemon, so that starter's in there. I like the OG 151 Pokemon.
They're good.
Mm-hmm.
They're the only ones with a Pokemon rap song about them. So.
Exactly. And I had we had the Pokemon puzzle, which is my
that was a
favorite
good
puzzle.
Yeah.
So that one I think is maybe 1A, and 1B is probably the Pokemon X and Y.
Really?
That's a good one.
Yeah, which
Oh.
I played Pokemon X, and that was so. And I say that because I think that game is kind of like what pulled me back into Pokemon, because I played on Nick on your Red and Blue
Mm-hmm.
when we were young.
Yeah.
Never really played Yellow all that much, and then played Fire Red when it came out. Played Ruby when it came out.
Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And then played Diamond and Pearl a lot, and then I didn't play another Pokemon game until X and Y, and like this includes Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I didn't play those until after X and Y.
That is true.
But so on X and Y, I played the shit out of it, and I think that's maybe one of the only Pokemon games I've beaten the Elite Four with a bunch of different combinations of Pokemon. And I liked all the additional stuff you could do. I really liked the region, the area. What was it, Lumos City? Was that the middle portion? I liked that. Getting to ride your bike in circles to hatch eggs.
Yeah.
Way to go. I loved the training mechanic in that, where you could train your Pokemon. That was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the restaurant system for the battles.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I enjoyed that one a lot. I think that Fire Red's 1A and X is 1B.
Wow.
Wow. Well, it's so funny because I assumed I was going next time since I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm going to basically be copying Kyle. My favorite Pokemon game is Pokemon X and Y for the same reason of basically what he said. I played Pokemon Yellow when I was younger, and then I didn't really play another Pokemon game until I was in college with X and Y. We got our 3DSs, which were, one of the best handheld consoles of all time.
It's a hot game.
And it was the thing that I was like super into Pokemon again. I loved all of the starters. I loved pretty much all of the Pokemon from that region. Kind of like Kyle said, it was the first time that I had a diverse amount of Pokemon that I actually liked. Like a lot of times I felt in other Pokemon games that I had to force myself to choose Pokemon and I didn't necessarily like them, but it was beneficial that I had that type on there. So X and Y has a very special place in my heart. It is my favorite Pokemon game, with Pokemon Yellow probably being like my B, because that will always be your first experience, and that generation, the fact that they're still so beloved, all of them, and that people have such connections not just to the starters but to there's
a Pidgey.
Yeah.
Pidgey, Gengar, Vulpix, Butterfree.
The whole gang.
Like, there's so many of them that you just have a unique connection to, and I feel like X and Y is the only other generation that I have that strong of a connection to that amount of Pokemon.
I'm pretty sure you know basically all the Pokemon that were added there. And then not only that, but Lucario is one of your favorites, probably because of X and Y.
Yeah, because the one lady has two Lucarios, and you have the one Lucario that's like super. He's like, oh, I have a connection to them, and that's exactly why I love Lucario. Is I loved that. You know me, I'm all about connection with Pokemon. Like, I love that is an aspect, and that was something that X and Y really hit home on more than previous Pokemon games had, is there was this big component where, like, you could play mini games with them, and you really wanted to get your hearts up, because if they loved you and you had your hearts up, they would either, like, survive poison or expel poison, or they would try to last until their very last one. Like, they would hold on because they don't want to disappoint you.
Yeah.
So I really I like the emotional aspect.
I always liked your Pokemon didn't faint because it loves you so much.
I know. Yeah. I was like, it loves me.
I love
the power of love.
I love the ones where it's like, it looks like it might cry. Like when it took
it always makes me so sad. I'm like, oh god, I have to give it some potion or something.
Swap it out.
Get it out. Throw in the one I don't like. Let it get taken out.
All right, Nicholas, you're up. So
for me, and I feel like this is more of a hot take than it should be, but I really like Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield's really good.
I thought Sword and Shield was like, it's the first game that's sort of on Nintendo's mainline console, because it seems like they don't care about separating the two anymore.
Yeah.
And
It's all the same.
it's all handheld. We did it.
Can't wait till we see what
Wait,
the...
it's all handheld?
It's
It always
all
has been.
handheld.
It always
It always
has.
So I love the fact that we actually got to play together. I think that the Dynamax battles and the like Gigantamaxing and that thing, doing it with your friends, is one of the coolest things that's added to Pokemon, because like it's something that Pokemon has always sorely missed, is sort of a cooperative aspect to it.
And
'cause
that was
it's
something
always
we-
been competitive.
We did with Kyle a lot, where we couldn't do the Dynamax battle, so we'd call Kyle and be like, Kyle, but you hop
Call
on
in the
Pokemon.
muscle.
Yeah.
I was
we
like,
need just one more.
Look, we just need the fucking computer not sending Eevee, okay?
Yeah.
That's what we need, because all
No,
it's
we
going to
needed
do is...
the pure muscle.
Yeah, and we don't need the helping hand Eevee, okay?
Call in the muscle and you get me instead.
yeah, it's all good.
I was only 10 levels under you guys.
And then, like with Pokemon X and Y, I think that the Gigantamaxing versus like Mega Evolution, I think that those are cooler than like the Z moves
Yeah.
of the Alola region.
Yeah.
I
wanted to love the Alola region.
Yeah, I feel like if we had played Ultra Sun and Moon rather than just Sun and Moon, we
That's
would have liked it better, because everybody says that it's way better.
I do like the anime though.
The anime was fun.
Yeah, that was good.
But I love that game. I love the multiplayer aspect. I think that the story is cute. I think, it's got all the trappings of a good Pokemon game. It also introduced a bunch of new stuff with like the Pokemon jobs and stuff
Yeah.
like that for like leveling your Pokemon. I think that it probably didn't do as as good of a job on the like camping. I think that was a cool idea, but like I think that the mini games and stuff like that from the other games were better as far as
Yeah.
that goes.
You,
And I-
it's also the first one that you completely completed your Pokédex.
Yes, I've never completed my Pokedex ever
and
in
that
any
was a
game.
lot of Pokemon. It was 800 Pokemon.
And that was the first one, because when I played Red and Blue and Silver and Gold back when I was like fucking 10 years old, I was like, I beat the game, I'm done with it. Or I don't want to touch it because I got my team. I don't want...
See, I always feel like, for me, the mark of if I think the game is a good Pokemon game, if I want to sit down and try to beat it in one sitting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's I have that with Fire Red, I have that with X and Y, and I had that with Sword and Shield.
Yeah. I loved it. I thought the game was great.
I don't think you've played the DLC yet. And have you?
I played a little bit of the Frozen Tundra one.
I love Frozen Tundra. I
Doing-
wasn't a fan of Isle of Armor, but the Frozen Tundra I thought was like fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and I played enough Isle of Armor to get a Slowpoke with a gun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted gun Slowpoke to not use,
Uh-huh.
and then I caught a bunch of legendaries in Frozen Tundra, but I've done little to no nothing
None
with
of the
story.
story.
Oh, the story
Yeah.
is so good.
I think Cubfu, or what is that his name?
Cubfu,
Cubfu, and I can't remember what he turns into, but
Urshifu.
Urshifu. I think that he's a cool Pokemon. Personally, I like him. And I also think that the goat with the pillow on his head is great too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait, which one's the goat with the pillow on his head?
that's the legendary from Crown Tundra.
No, he's a rabbit with a pillow on his head.
Oh, sorry.
Not a goat. Sorry, that was something I'm very passionate.
All right. So that's my hot take. Thank you, everybody. All right. So I hope that does not taint how you feel about my game when I start describing it.
It already has.
But I think we're ready to get going. You guys ready?
I think Kyle will love your game. So
You guys ready for my game pitch?
yeah.
I was born almost ready.
Okay. All right. In 3, 2, 1, go. Started the timer. All right. So this is going to be called Pokemon Prism, and it is the Pokemon All League Journey. Anyway, so it's the 50th anniversary of the Pokemon League across the various regions in Pokemon Land, and so they're going to get together to have a sort of Olympics of Pokemon. So it's going to be one region hosts all of the other regions to have the most complete Pokemon League possible, and it will be taking place in the Albator region, which is based on the Greek peninsula because of the Olympic theme. All that nonsense. All of the towns are going to be based around sort of the Greek pantheon. So we're going to have sort of like an Artemis town, a Hades town, and that maps largely to what the types will be in the gyms. So Hades will probably be a dark gym. Artemis would be sort of like a grass gym, or maybe Demeter. I don't know. I haven't thought that part out just quite as yet.
That's fine.
So You will start at the port city in the south part of the region, and you will arrive on boat as one of the prospective trainers from one of the other regions in the Pokemon world to participate in this tournament. So you, at the beginning of the game, will arrive, meet Professor Olive, who is the regional professor, and she will ask, where are you from? And also, are you a boy or a girl? And then you get to pick where you're from, and where you pick is what starters you get to choose from. So you get to bring in the starters from your home region with you. So if you're from Kalos, you get to pick one of the Kalos starters. If you're from Kanto, you get one of the Kanto starters, etc., etc. We also include the new region of Albadur, which will have 3 new starters. And there'll be a Pegasus Pokemon, which will be the water type. And so he'll have a water sort of mane that levels up, and he'll get his big wings, and he'll be water flying. We will have a fire fairy type, which will be a Chimera. And so it'll be a lion. As it slowly evolves, it gets sort of the more chimera aspects of it, and it has the fire fairy type at the end. And then the last one is a stag. And so as it levels up, it will become grass and steel, and the tips of its antlers will get little metal bits on them to kind of like bring home the steel aspect of it. So that's how you start. So you start in the city. It's all of the Pokemon are here. We're all ready to go. The port city has the surrounding areas around the port city and the different regions have sort of a mix of Pokemon that have been brought all over from different parts of the world. So it's sort of got a wide variety of Pokemon. So your bug type isn't going to be specific to this region. This bug type could be specific to the region. It could be a Caterpie. It could be fucking Bitbug. It could be any of those things. So all of the gyms are going to be a little bit different than normal. So each gym, instead of having a single gym leader to beat, it has a pantheon of gym leaders. Pantheon of gym leaders will be assembled from different gyms from around the world, depending on which one you start with. It will have different. It sort of like changes the order. So if you choose to be from Kalos, then you'll probably see earlier on gym leaders from Kalos, and then later on you'll see gym leaders that are from different regions. And so sort of where you pick to start motivates what gym leaders will be available to you. The gyms themselves won't be exactly one type. We'll probably mix and match a little bit here. So like in gyms where that kind of makes sense for them to mix and match. So Rock Steel is sort of a gym that could come together and be similar. So we'll have those guys kind of in the same room together. And so you'll have a mix of the 2 gym leaders from those areas. The bad guys in this will be the Stasis, or Team Stasis. So Team Stasis is made up by a group of failed gym leaders who weren't able to make it to the tournament, but they want to have their own tournament and bring down the man because they're just as good. And so everywhere you go, they're kind of trying to sabotage the gyms in that local region. They have their own Pokemon League that you go through. So each time you beat them and defeat them in that area, you also get a gym badge from them. And I want to make it kind of cheesy. So it's like they took like a pop can and they ripped it apart and they made their badge out of that. They're going to use sort of a different type of kind of Pokemon grouping. So their Pokemon are going to be based around sort of different status moves. So it's like it's the Sleep Gym or the Paralyzed Gym or stuff like that. So they're all around that. Then when you get to the Final Four, it'll get interrupted by the Stasis Final Four, and you'll have to end up fighting a Final 8 between the Final 4 from the real gym and the Final 4 from the Stasis Gym. And then at the end, you get a double battle between the twins because the champion from the normal gym is a twin with the champion from the Stasis Gym. And it was all a plan to make it where they got to face the greatest Pokemon trainer ever, which is you. And so then you have to take them down in a double battle at the very end. Companions, who gives a fuck about companions? You're going to have people from different regions. They'll be your friends, and they'll come in and out, whatever. But as far as new mechanics go, so I still want, normal leveling with Pokemon battles and stuff like that. But in each region, I want to also have what I call bonding quests. So these are going to be missions where you get to select a subset of your 6 Pokemon, somewhere between 2 and 3, and you go on a mission sort of like a Pokemon Quest style, where you go around and like they get controlled and you're kind of in the area, and they get 1 move each, and so you can kind of fight through an area. And at the end of it, you get bonding points, and these bonding points are used to sort of level up your hearts, do those sorts of things. Additionally, I'd love to do the mini games again. so that you can play different mini games with different Pokemon. I do want to try and like incorporate as many of them as at once, so you don't have to like really grind with a single Pokemon. I'd like it to be sort of a couple of Pokemon at a time. And then the last little bit, I wanted to add this to the actual battling system, and I just call it dodging. But Paper Mario has this mechanic where you can hit certain buttons at certain times to reduce the damage done to yourself. And one of my favorite things is when your Pokemon get to that point where they can be like, I survived because of this hit. So as you get your bond level up, this timing window where you can dodge certain moves by hitting A or up or down or whatever, it's sort of a button combination. You can dodge and get out of those things. So like with as your Pokemon loves you more, this window gets larger and larger. If there's a type disadvantage, it gets larger or smaller. And then certain moves are just unblockable. But basically, it gives you more control over your Pokemon not getting hurt. And so that's sort of the big new mechanic to battling. And so that's my game. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, wow. You really you were like just trying to... I want him at the end of this, Kyle, to send you the whole document that he wrote.
It's fucking huge.
Yeah. I went to, like, we took a shower and I went to go blow dry my hair and all I hear is like... Yeah.
So anyway, that's my game. Guys, what do you think?
I loved it.
Is it a winner?
I think it would be really fun. It sounds like it kind of has the aspect of Sword and Shield where you have these big gym battles. Like it's like these stadium. And I feel like with the Greek setting that plays into that with the big mythology and like these idea of these, you know, Roman matches and stuff, Greek matches.
It's the Olympiad, baby.
Olympiad, baby.
And I really like the idea of giving the starters based off of where you're from. I think that's a cool aspect. And I think it adds a bunch of replayability to it. And plus, like, you know, if you have the mini games and all these different ways to, you know, train your Pokemon and build a bond with them, like it's not going to pigeonhole you in to any one play style anytime you do it.
Exactly. And you
could play an entirely different game with the same, you know, 6 Pokemon.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it allows you also to like, it's like, oh, I really, really like this one region, and it would be kind of nice to get to rebuild that bond, but in a different experience.
Yeah.
I had one other thing I was going to add, but I just skipped it in the interest of time. But in addition, I wanted after...
Cheater!
I'm sorry. I just want to put this in because I put this in and I thought it would be cool. But after you beat the game, I thought it would be cool if you got to replay and you got to be from Mysterious Unknown. And this was sort of a replay where you got to pick a non-traditional starter Pokemon. So you came in and nobody knows where the fuck you're from. You're from the other side of the tracks. You're a bad boy, bad girl. And so you can come in with like a Lucario or like a Machop or something like that.
Or a Weedle.
Ooh.
Like you get to, it's just sort of like, yeah. I think it would be cool. You have that, and then you don't really get to fucking, either you don't get to pick your Pokemon or it's just a non-traditional starter. And just to make the game more complicated or more. Yeah. I also had some multiplayer stuff, but I won't do that because that's cheating.
Yeah, that is cheating. I'll let you have just a little bit, but
the thing is, we can't include that information in our deliberations.
Don't judge
it. That's not admissible.
Okay, so let's go. So you guys gave me some positives. Yeah. What are some negatives? What did you not like about the idea? What made you cringe? What made you want to vomit?
I don't think anything really made me cringe or vomit. Like I said, I feel like it has a lot of Sword and Shield aspects to it, and I think that's fun. I really like the bonding aspect. I'm not a fan of Pokemon Quest, so I'm a little nervous what that would look like because I really didn't like Pokemon Quest, and I didn't like that battle system.
All right.
But I love the idea of these bonding missions, and you take like 2 to 3 Pokemon, and it allows you to kind of bond with them and maybe improve their stats or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I would say is there might be too many different like aspects to it, so that the ones that are the most integral to the game wouldn't get exactly the attention they need, or kind of like, I guess you could kind of pull it back to you talking about the camping and Sword and Shield. It's like, you know, it's a good idea, but they obviously put their like more time and effort into these other areas. And so this thing that was a really good idea just left a little bit to be desired. It's not bad, but it just needed more time.
You sound like a producer. 100%.
You do
It's
sound
like
a
it's like,
wizard.
hey, all of these sound like great ideas, but we can't do them all. And I was like, wrong. In my universe, we could do every one of them to their max good.
All I need is an unlimited budget
Yeah.
and 5 to 10 years to make the game.
Yes.
How much time are you willing to spend in the game?
Yeah. All right. So that's my game, guys. Thank you so much.
Pokemon Prism. Woo!
Pokemon Prism.
Also, sorry, did you say why you would call it Prism? Or
Because Prism is it distills white light into all of the colors.
Okay.
And so since most of the Pokemon games have been around colors and stuff like that, that's the reason for the Prism. It's also kind of
It's
around the idea of
all-encompassing.
like it's an anniversary culmination game. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but that's why. I also was going to do Roy G. Viv as the like name of the places, but then I realized that that's what they did in the Kanto region. So then I was like, oh fuck, that's stupid. All right,
Okay, gear me up.
Caitlin, are you ready? Tell
Yes.
me when.
I'm ready.
All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so instead of trying to do another mainline Pokemon game, I am playing off the Pokemon Let's Go style, and it will be centered on the Kalos region. So you'll have Pokemon Let's Go Fennekin, Let's Go Froggy, or Let's Go Chespin. The difference between it with the Pokemon with Pikachu and Eevee is you actually will be able to evolve your Pokemon through the full thing. They're not going to be limited to their starter, their like one generation. I want you to be able to actually evolve them to what you would like them to be. The big thing that is going to be different, but compared to this to like a mainline Pokemon game, is the thing that I liked about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is it was a very contained, intimate experience. You were only dealing with Generation 1. So in this game, you will only be dealing with Generation 6. You will not see the other Pokemon. This is a game that's very centered on being an intimate experience in the Kalos region. So it has basically all of the same Kalos games, but you're limited to those Pokemon. And obviously you have your full game, but there will be no like camping or mini games or anything. You'll just have your one Pokemon that you build the bond with, and then you can give your other Pokemon stuff. And because even in Pokemon Let's Go, I had like a Ninetales, and even though it couldn't be my partner Pokemon, it's like the one that I had walking with me while it like Pikachu is on my shoulder. You'll still have kind of like that aspect with it. And then with your one that you choose, you'll be able to do certain things to give it special moves. So it's like a very special starter. I'm just going to say Fennekin because that's who I would go with. It's a very special Fennekin that's tailored to my experience. Now, the big thing that I'm going to be using to differentiate it from Pokemon games is there's going to be 2 styles of playing. This is to reach a wider audience because I know there's people like me who don't always like the battling aspect because you don't like your Pokemon being in pain. This is also going to be stolen a little bit from the anime because I very much enjoy the X and Y anime. But you're either going to be, you can choose a path where you do like the battling to be the very best that ever was, or you get to do the Pokemon show where you have these Pokemons, and the idea with them is you try to pick special moves so you can put on the show to be basically like the best show person with your Pokemon. So it's this idea of putting on a performance and building up Pokemon where they have the moves that you feel like it would have the most razzle dazzle, I guess you would say. So it's it's a cuter one for people who like really like Pokemon but don't always like battling. So you have the 2 paths that you can choose. So you'll still have the gyms, but the gyms will be more of like a showcase if you decide to do it that way. The multiplayer aspect that I wanted to have with this is that you could have it where people could join your game and you could basically do it where you're walking on your map together and actually go and do these like either showcases or battles together. And it would be like a culmination of both of you together doing these things to earn the badges to get to the top. So it's basically all the same story. It's just more contained in the Kalos region with only the Kalos Pokemon. And you have the option of doing the typical Pokemon storyline, or you have the option of doing more of the Pokemon showcase, of doing something that's more trained around the cuteness of it. And of course, the big thing with Kalos is you were able to customize and doll up yourself. So there's always been that big, lights, camera, action. That was a big thing that was in the game. So it's going to be something that's highlighted in this one through that route. So thank you very much. That's Pokemon Let's Go Fennekin, Froakie, or Chespin.
Woo!
How much
Excellent,
time
excellent.
did I?
You only used about half your time.
I was trying to talk really fast.
You were at 3 minutes
I was
and 20
really
seconds.
nervous.
I kept looking down at the clock every time that I was like, oh shit.
I know, I saw you do that, so I was like, oh god, I must be almost out of time, so it made
No,
me
you were
talk
doing really
faster.
good. So you have about half your time left, so we're going to ask questions.
Okay.
And if you want to fill in those questions,
That
you're more
sounds
than welcome
great.
to.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I really like this idea. I love the branching paths where it's something different than normal Pokemon.
I was afraid you wouldn't like it because, like I said, I felt like it's more of a cutesy thing. So it's something like, I don't think that this necessarily is a Pokemon game that maybe a lot of people would enjoy, but I feel like it's a Pokemon game that allows people to play in a different way. So I didn't think it was a Pokemon game that you might enjoy very much.
No, I really like it. One of my questions was, can you do both? Can you do both in a single playthrough, or do you
I was
have
thinking
to
that same
pick?
thing.
I don't see why not.
So, like, in each town, you can go do the gym, and then you can also go do the cutesy thing. I think that would be really cool.
I don't see why that you should have a limitation of only being able to do one, and then you have to completely restart the game to do the other. I think having the option to do both, that just prolongs your game experience. I don't see why that should hinder you.
Cool.
And I could see it like you go through, you do either the show or the fight, and you get the badge, and then it's like you replay the gym.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then you're not getting like a second badge for it, but you get to do the other way, just like you know.
Yeah.
And
For
I
the
mean,
sake
it could
of
be the
doing
thing
it.
where you get like the badge for the showcase has like a little bow that's attached to it because bows are very big, and and then like the one that's like battling is just the typical badge. So you have the badge, and then you have the badge for the bow, which is for the showcase.
There you go. I like that.
And then
That's
and then
really
when
cute.
you get to the end, there's 2 Elite Fours that you can go and fight.
Right, yeah.
It-
And
Yes,
so
that
you
was-
have to out-cute
I
them.
guess I didn't get to that part but that was
Okay.
my thing. Is like the final 4, you would have it where there was the battling, and you would have it with the showcase. So yes, that was kind of is like you'd either have this one where you have like you have to keep trying to do this thing where you would have to build this show, and it just my big idea with the showcase is like that was something that was really highlighted in the
Anime?
and then in Kalos in X and Y they did this thing where it's like, oh, you can shoot these commercials and become like this Pokemon star, and that was kind of like the idea with it, is it allows you to do something that's outside of battling but still allows you to
Enjoy
have
that
these
universe.
you have to curate your Pokemon to have these like special moves, so it puts on more of a show.
Yeah,
like you can't you don't stick to like the traditional.
That was one of the things I really liked about it. Is there are Pokemon like Ninetales that have never had viability in battling ever.
Yeah.
But Ninetales is a beautiful Pokemon,
It
and
is.
like it can learn cool moves because it learns a lot of fairy type moves too.
Mm-hmm.
And like that utilizes certain Pokemon that I think are cute and are pretty, or maybe not even like good looking, but they don't get utilized because they have no use in battling. Like I'm never gonna take a Slowpoke. I'm sorry.
But what if he has a gun?
Maybe if he has a gun.
Yeah, but you said even with the gun you weren't gonna use it.
Well, that's because he's like level 13.
Oh,
Okay, well, fine, fair point.
But no, like I think that is a really cool aspect of it. Is that totally getting you to forcing you to use Pokemon that are outside of the normal team. I really like that idea. I really like the idea of like the dueling paths, and especially if you do the multiplayer thing where you guys are going together. Like you could do sort of like an Ash and Serena, right?
Yeah.
So like you roll into a town together and you say, I'm gonna go fuck up the gym leader, and you're like, I'm gonna go fuck up that dance stage over there.
Yeah. It's just like I said, I feel like there's a lot of people. It's like we like Pokemon, but we don't always like them getting hurt.
Well, it'd finally flesh out the other big half of having Pokemon that's from the Pokemon universe.
Yeah.
You know, because it's always there's like in most of the Pokemon games, you know, there's 2 or 3 towns maybe where you can go do a show, or maybe only one town, and it's like you kind of understand what's going on, but they don't really explain it to you. They don't really kind of guide you through it, and even when you do it, it's not some big grand experience. It's like, oh, I put my Pokemon here, like, oh, here he is under spotlight.
Yeah.
I choose a move, and I got 2 hearts and 3 bows. I got second. Damn it.
Oh shoot!
I know,
I'll come back. I'll come back.
Shucks. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably the most difficult part of this, is that shows are sort of have always been sort of they're sort of a subjective thing.
Yeah.
But I think that you could add that into the mechanics. So like as you're going into a certain place, part of the game is learning what these judges like.
Yeah.
So what do these judges like? And then that means that you have to cultivate certain Pokemon for that experience.
Like you go, if it's like, if we're just thinking, if it's like that town has like a fire gym.
That's what
Then they specifically, you will not win with water type.
Yeah.
Like if you do any water moves, they hate it.
Yeah.
And so like
anything that's
So you want it to sizzle.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when you go to these towns always have this like personality or the charm. Like even I'm just thinking of playing Let's Go. You know, when you get to the village with the tower, which was with the Marowak and the Cubone, it's always like very creepy and spooky. And I like that it has that, and I wanted to see that played out more in like the shows and the kind of things that you got to put on.
And it would also give you a reason to run around and talk to all the townspeople.
Yes.
Because all the townspeople would be like, oh, you know Susie in her gym, she just loves those ghost types.
Yeah.
If you just show off a ghost move, she'll go gaga for you.
And then it allows the like customization with the like, it's like, oh, here's these shops and you can buy these certain outfits or whatever.
Yeah, certain outfits for your Pokemon. And I love that because like limiting the amount of Pokemon gives you the ability to decorate them and to give them their outfits and stuff like that.
Well, that's what it's like. This is an intimate way to experience this area, which is what I liked about Let's Go.
Oh, and the other thing I really like about your game and how you're choosing to have the starter be that, one of the big things from the anime was Ash's Greninja.
Yeah.
And so for the battle part of things, going that route, and you have Popkait's Finnegan.
Yeah.
And it has like, it takes on a form that's like yours. It's your Finnegan.
Yeah,
like, that's a really cool
Thank
idea.
You. I really didn't think you were going to like it, so.
I think it's better than mine.
I don't think so.
Anything else, Kyle?
No, I think we covered everything. I really enjoy the two styles of play. I like having I don't always play games more than once, so when a game does have that opportunity for replayability where it's an entirely new experience, I love that. So that's what I've liked about both of your ideas so far. And I also, like I said, really like the idea of fleshing out the show mechanic in games, and it's not something that I would probably do, but I think that it's having that fleshed out would only even help the battle mechanic, because if you're gonna have to find all these kind of hidden details about the town to be able to do well in the show, like that's stuff that you can transfer to other parts of the game that don't already get that, and just make it even better as a whole.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you guys.
See, now Nick, this is a game that has a manageable amount of assets.
Oh wow. Wow.
Talking about the game designer.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. And working in game design, there's always the producer who says nothing can go in the game. We don't want anything in the game. And then there's the designer who's like, I want everything in the game.
Yeah.
And so then that's why you get a game, because the average of those two things is something.
I'm the happy medium.
Yeah. You're like, I'm going to pick an existing world, don't have to make any new assets.
All right, so here's my Pokemon game.
Let's hear it.
There isn't one.
Yeah, there isn't one. Thank you. Go outside, get a job, you asshole.
Go catch a squirrel and train it.
All right.
Oh my god,
all right.
so hard.
So now for the grand finale, we're going to get Kyle's game. Are you ready, Kyle?
I am.
When you're ready.
Okay, go. All right. So my Pokemon game is kind of it's kind of how Nick you had. It was a little bit of that worldwide kind of thing. I also want my game to encompass the world, but not in one place. So I want, basically, you're going to go to each continent, the 7 continents, and every continent is going to have like the gym there, and that's kind of specific. So Antarctica's ice. I just realized this. I probably shouldn't have put this. Australia's fire.
Oh.
I just thought it's hot. Okay.
Those poor little koala Pokemon.
I know. But so you go through there, but I kind of want it to branch, kind of how Caitlin is saying hers, when it be maybe you're like a mainstream Pokemon game. That's kind of how I want mine to be as well. And so like you're going throughout the world, and it's more of, I feel like you're having to solve like dungeon type puzzles, like in a Legend of Zelda type game. And so you have to curate your team to the specific dungeons, and these dungeons and challenges that you'd have to go through, they're going to be themed to the kind of the cultures of the areas that you're in the continent. So I would think that there'd be, in every continent, there'd be more and more of challenges or like dungeons that you have to get through. And then that way, if you're over in Europe, it's not just like the Europe challenge. You have like, if it's a little different culture for like more England or more Germany and everything like that. And I think that could get really cool when you get over into Asia, because there's so many cultural differences just bouncing around and so much like great history that you could really get some really cool challenges. I don't really have like a baddie organization. But I think for the starters, I think something that'd be cool, and I know Eevee gets a lot of attention, but I think it'd be cool if you just had the pick of all the evolutions.
That'd be cool.
Just start.
Would you have new evolutions?
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah.
Sold.
so it would be every evolution, and then I could even go as far as, I know you guys have seen some of the fan-made ones that people have drawn up. You start, hopefully including those. So you have an evolution for every type, so you can go pick your favorite type, and you can start making your way around the world. I came up with the name, which I got mad because I didn't realize this is what the season of the Pokemon anime, Pokemon Journey.
I was like, has Kyle been watching Pokemon Journey? Because I feel like this
is just it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had no idea that existed. I literally, Caitlin, while you were talking, I was like, it was kind of like looking, and I typed in like Pokemon Journey. I was like, son of a bitch. I already have it.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
I love it. Yeah.
Because Caitlin's is based really heavily around the anime too. So.
Yeah, but so that would be my idea. Is you're going around, and I might want to do something where you I don't know, like you build up a group, like a posse, kind of as you go to each country. So like obviously every place has their own type of Pokemon, their own type of like specialty skills. So then you get to like a dungeon, and maybe your Pokemon like you need a special skill that you've gotten from a country previously, and that's kind of a way to make the game a little bit more linear, I guess, without just having it be your typical like HM this, HM,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my game. There's a lot of little details that need to be ironed out still, but
How much time have you got left?
Well,
me and Kyle, we talked. We were.
Well, you guys didn't write it all down.
I know.
Okay, you didn't have baddies.
Well, I literally was like, it's the Kalos game, so I don't have to worry about any of that. It's X and Y, baby.
Gosh, it's so economical.
Thank you.
What I really like the idea of the regional variants playing such a big thing into it. And like that whole idea around the sort of Legend of Zelda style like gyms.
Yeah, that's what the dungeons. I was like, that's really cool.
I love that. Fuck my Pokemon Quest idea. We're gonna use that instead. That's the bonding missions.
Well, yeah, and because my thought is, I've been playing through Breath of the Wild, so that kind of helped influence. But like in the shrines in Breath of the Wild, they're all like, you have like the test of strength, the test of this. So like different places, if you're going through these different challenges, if like let's say, like combat is a big part of this area, then it'd be more, you'd be doing a battle. If it was more like puzzle, climbing, hiking, this stuff, then it'd be more platform related.
Right.
You could adjust so it's not all just like, oh, I got to move this box and move this box, and then I hit this button, I go, and I bing bang boom, I'm done. There could be some more variance to that and scalable levels.
Right.
Of it.
Yeah. No, I like that idea, and I love the idea that you do have the Legend of Zelda kind of like principle of the thing, either the thing you get in the dungeon solves the dungeon, or the thing that you got in the last dungeon is like absolutely necessary for this.
Yeah.
Like, because I think that you go to South America, and you have this part where you have to move like an iceberg, and like you cannot move this iceberg unless you've already gone to Antarctica, would be would be a really cool thing that you could do. And there are no ice types in this region, so like you have had to visit.
I'm also pumped about all the finally getting evolutions for every type.
Yes,
I really wanted new evolutions for Sword and Shield. I'm very disappointed we never got that.
I was so bummed.
So the fact that you're finally bringing in new evolutions, I was like, yes,
that's a huge deal.
Well, and that's one thing that I really took from whenever I played X and Y, because I beat the game and then I got an Eevee and a Ditto, and one thing leads to another, and next thing you know, I have an Eevee egg for every evolution. But like I went back through and I beat the Elite Four. I trained up a bunch of evolutions from level 1 through the restaurant system just to go beat the Elite Four with just nice. Evolutions. Yeah,
that's awesome.
So. And,
are there only 6 evolutions, or are there more?
No, there is more.
Okay,
there's more.
Yeah, because
I picked the 6 that were the best equipped for the Elite Four.
No, that's a cool. I think that's cool.
Yeah. Now there are obviously a lot of finer details that would need to be fleshed out still, and maybe a name change. I don't know. Maybe it goes along with what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
I had no clue.
Yeah, so
that was what was going on.
For some reason in the anime, they decided not to just call it Sword and Shield like they typically do.
Yeah,
they decided to do this thing where they went around, and so they called it Pokemon Journeys, and then they kind of have 2 protagonists, so it's not just Ash. There's also like Go.
Yeah.
Who people have mixed feelings on.
Is that his actual name? Has it come to the United States yet?
It has. It's on Netflix, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's the international name is Pokemon Journeys.
I don't.
That's what I learned.
Yeah.
I didn't know if Go was his name in the American
I think
version.
it still is Go.
Okay.
Because that's just what I've seen people in the past call him on Twitter.
Gotcha. Another thing I really like about your game, Kyle, is this is something that I think that the Pokemon games do really well. Like the later ones, the earlier ones, they're too tiny to have done it. But the later ones, especially with some of the story missions and stuff like that in those games, they really kind of like dive into the culture of these specific regions, and like they have backstories and like, oh, there's like like legends of this region and stuff like that. And I think a really cool idea would be to incorporate those and to map them kind of loosely to actual mythos and mythology from around the world would be a really cool thing.
Yeah. And that's like, I really wanted, because that's something that people always enjoy about the Pokemon games, is whenever the towns and regions you go to like have that like personality and attitude.
Yeah.
And so being able, I feel like you have by having it on a macro scale, if you're going to each continent and then having like kind of like the sub regions, right? I think what I put down micro gyms.
You got the macro gym and you got the micro gyms.
Yeah. And so like, you have to go through all the sub challenges and then you get to like the main kind of culmination of it at the end.
Yeah.
Like, the final dungeon. But I think it would really be able to fit in a whole lot of good, unique personality. Obviously, mine wouldn't have quite the level of replayability as your guys' ideas, because seeing as mine's a little bit more.
Did you say how the starters would work?
So you would have your pick of the evolutions.
Oh, that's right.
Basically. That's right. Yeah. And it was kind of the same thing. I don't really know if I haven't really decided if I want to have, the typical rival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
since you have the dungeons compared to like the gyms, I feel that gives you a way to kind of eliminate that aspect if you didn't want it.
Yeah. Good. That's a good question, because like I was the same way. I didn't know if I would want a rival either.
I like the name you came up with, your rival. So
say what?
I liked the name for your rival. So
my rival. Oh, the
Stasis.
Yes,
the team Stasis. Well, I meant rival is in like the person you start with that you like meet every now and then. I wasn't sure if I don't know if I ever really liked that as much.
Yeah.
I think in your game it would work out best to not have it.
Yeah. There's just so much going on.
Yeah.
And I thought like the idea of having companions from the different regions would be cool, and like you can choose to battle them. Like they show up in towns and you can, but it's not. Again, it's like I don't ever think there's enough opportunities to like power level your Pokemon quickly, and I don't like grinding through the fucking woods.
Yeah.
So
don't
like
like
actual
grinding
battles against trainers are way more fun to me. And like
Oh,
you
yeah,
were talking about
absolutely.
the restaurant system in
X
X and
and Y.
Y, and so I want lots of opportunities for you to just find challengers, and they're kind of unique battles, and I think that having the world be like that. But what I was gonna ask is like, what does the rival look like in Caitlin's game for the ribbon system?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's just like two pageant queens that hate each
Yes.
other.
Oh man, that
Oh.
would be so good.
It would be very good. So
Oh, it's like a Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding situation.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
there
be
you
very
go.
funny.
You're going down.
You're going down.
And
Somebody
she has the
knocks-
pipe slit up her
Yeah.
sleeve.
It's like you don't even know how hard you're about to go down.
You don't even know. Yeah, no, I think these are all good ideas.
Yeah, this was fun.
I really like the two system from Caitlin's thing. I love the cultural differences from Kyle's thing.
Yeah.
And I think that the dungeons are going to be really great.
Mm-hmm.
And then my game is just better than both of yours, but that's okay. So
Okay.
I'm just going to take. Here's the thing. My game is all of the ideas. Okay, it's all of them. So you're in it. You're in it.
You didn't have my idea.
Well, I'm gonna just take it.
Oh, you're
now it's
just
part
taking-
of it.
Oh, okay.
You can come here.
So
In
this
addition
is-
to that,
this is what happens when he
another
takes over
one.
the show.
I know it's terrible. I am.
Welcome to
I am-
Anonybob's Game Corner and Popkait's Corner. Thank you.
Well,
No, and so I think my favorite thing from Caitlin's game, I think, is also I guess my two favorite things is the having your starter be like uniquely yours,
Yes.
I love
and
that.
then the ability to do both paths simultaneously or separately.
Mhm. Yeah, the
in
fact
the
that they're
fact that
not
it'll-
required to move the game.
Yeah, they're
forward.
not required, and that the more focus on the pageant ability will allow for even more personality and things to be put into the towns
Yeah.
that you have to take advantage of. Because in most Pokemon games, you don't have to talk to anybody
No.
to beat it. But unless you just want to be miserable trying to figure out like what these judges like
Yeah.
from trial and error, then you got to go explore the town and meet people. And I really like that
Yeah.
because it
it makes the town have an
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah,
and it
you could.
gives credit to like the work to put in
Yeah.
to build that personality.
Yeah, and then you could also do things like side missions where it's like, I'll tell you what Maurice likes if you go get me this, and so then you have to go do that.
Yeah.
Or you could
I
go to
need
the
an
gym
apricot.
and just lose because Maurice is really picky.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then Nick, my favorite two things about yours is obviously, you know me, I love Greek mythology. So
Yeah.
I love
that's the only reason I did it.
the Greek region and the idea of kind of it being the Olympics.
Yeah.
I was like, Kyle's either gonna have a similar idea because I was like, there's either a possibility where you guys both do Greece. Like, I was like, there's.
And then the other thing I really liked is kind of the pantheon of gyms
Mhm.
and the way that you're going to weave in Team Stasis
Yeah.
into all of that.
Yeah.
To where they're kind of, you're going through it with it, and it's like, God, these jokers again, like
God. Yeah.
And
like how many times does somebody have to beat them before they realize they're not a good gym
yeah,
leader?
and I really love the idea of them giving you a badge, but it's just like made of garbage.
Yeah.
It's just whatever they cobbled
It's-
together.
Yeah.
It's like the yogurt top.
Yes,
Yes,
that's what
yeah.
I was
The
gonna.
office.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. It's like that every time.
And they just wrote on it in a Sharpie.
Yeah, it's like sleep. It's just like the Z's, and it's like, here you go.
You're just like, thank you.
Yeah, and I just love at the end where you're going to sort of like the Indigo Plateau, and like you have to like present your badges, but then there's like this shady dude. He's like, present your other ones, and you just like show him a bunch of garbage, and he's like, yep, that looks legit.
You literally pull a Walmart sack out and you're like,
Yeah.
Here you go.
Here you go. Yeah.
it's like, you're short. You need one more lid.
Damn it.
You turn around and there's a stasis trainer right
Yeah,
there.
he's like, dun-dun-dun-dun. He's like, I'm sorry, I missed you at the ground gym.
I've been waiting for you.
No, and Kyle, the cultural diversity of your game is awesome. I love that idea. I think the
too.
dungeons is a really good idea.
Yeah, I like the dungeons a lot. And I
and
like
then-
the evolutions.
Yep.
And then for Caitlin's game, love the dual aspect, and then love the idea of the the special Pokemon. That's such a good idea. So.
I got my Pokemon shirt for the week.
Nice. My other idea was, now stay with me here.
Okay. Hang on. You're going to use
got-
up your other 3 minutes? Here you go.
Yeah. All right. So this is my other idea. Imagine this.
Okay.
It's Nintendogs.
All right, that's our show, everybody. Thank you for coming to Popkait's Corner. This has been Anonybob.
No, wait. I'm on board.
No,
Tell me more.
we're done. We're done.
It's Nintendogs, but instead of dogs, it's Pokemon,
Okay.
and that's pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You ran out of time about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
All right, well,
So-
I think we designed the perfect Pokemon game,
I think we did.
and it's some synthesis of these three. So
Well, I don't know if we can fit all these aspects in.
Yeah, with our Mr. Producer over here. Mr. Producer Stringman with his web of ideas.
yeah,
I think if we pick 7 things from Caitlin's game, 3 things from my game, and 1 thing from Nick's game,
okay.
we'll make the perfect game. Now, the 1 thing from Nick's game is just going to be the whole game.
Thank God. All
I
right.
mean, he already
I'm
said
back on
that.
board.
He
I'm
was
back on board.
like-
Yeah.
I was getting real nervous there because I knew my idea was the best, but I didn't want to say.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys
Okay.
for doing this. I appreciated the mental exercise of making a game with you.
Yeah.
You guys can't make a game with me, but I feel like we kind of did.
Okay. This was.
I mean, I could learn.
Yeah, I think we're there.
Listen, here's the thing. You'll just do all the hard work.
Look, you will program it. I will design it, and Kyle will produce it.
And I'll tell you yes or no.
Oh my gosh.
That's,
And then you'll look at me, say fuck off, fire me. I'll leave. I'll start another company and build games myself, and they'll be horrible.
I don't want to do this. Honestly, I want to introduce.
You can't push me out.
I want to introduce you to Jira as a software, Kyle, and see if you just like. I feel like you're gonna love it. I feel like you're like Jira. Oh my god, it's great.
Send me a link.
J-A-R-A.
It's not free, so you're gonna see it and you're like, why don't we do this for work?
We'll just see you in the foreseeable future, and he'll show it to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for another wonderful Popkait's Corner. We will be back next week. Once again, I don't know what we will talk about because we come up with it on a whim, but that's how it goes at Popkait's Corner. Bye.